Hi, everybody. I uh I like to think that this channel is getting better. That through my stuff, Mike helping me out, that I'm getting better at making things looks wise, presenting wise. One of the first reviews we ever did since we switched to doing stuff on my channel was Sonic, and I went and looked back, and man, did I have no idea how I presented that on video using StreamYard looked. There was the weird, wonky proportions. I had the weird, edited, bad aftertime logo in the corner, and oh man, it's feels really nice looking back, looking at things like this. But anyways, besides that, I'm going to throw it to Mike for the synopsis in a little bit. But there's one thing that I have to say, and I didn't think I was going to get to experience with this movie. I am one of those people that had a near out of body experience during Endgame. I kind of felt bad for the parents I was sitting next to because I was in a near orgasmic state for like the past hour and a half of that movie. And I went into Sonic and I was the first person outside of one couple that was there for the start of it. And by the time the credits ended, I was surrounded by parents with like 3 and 4 kids that all were probably around the age of, I'm going to assume, 8 to 9. And they're kind of rowdy and ruckusy during the opening credits and whatever. I'm like, they're kids. That's how it is. And I wasn't going to be one of those people. And then the credits roll, or the feature presentation, all that rolled, and it started going. And getting to watch these kids have Avengers Endgame level pops for stuff and just be losing their minds over cool little things that happened was just the best. I like just hearing the joy, and like I saw kids standing up out of their seats, like gripping the seat in front of them, just so excited with what was going to happen next. It was amazing. It just, I like, people are like, not every part of this movie is perfect, and I get that because it's not made for me. It's not. There's parts of this movie that I did not like, but that's just me. But this movie was great, and it did exactly how it should have been done. So
I heard a lot of those same reactions
it was
from the target demographic.
It was great. Oh, it was awesome. Anyway, hit him with that synopsis, Mike.
Okay, so where we last left off, the last thing we saw in the first Sonic movie was Tails coming to Earth, and for this movie, we cut shortly after settling in Green Hills. Sonic is eager to prove that he has what it takes to be a true hero. His test comes when Dr. Robotnik returns with a new partner, Knuckles, in search of a mystical emerald that has the power to destroy civilizations. Sonic teams up with his own sidekick, Tails, and together they embark on a globe-trotting journey to find the emerald before it falls into the wrong hands. God, this movie's so good.
Whoever, and I don't know who the casting director for this movie was, thought we need Idris Elba as Knuckles deserves every raise they can offer them. Because I went, okay, they're doing that to have a big name be Knuckles. It's whatever it is. They did not need Idris Elba to be Knuckles. I can safely say after this movie that I don't want another damn person as Knuckles except for Idris Elba.
He was. I described him in my Letterboxd review as, like infusing elements of Drax into the tried and true hardened warrior archetype.
That's exactly what I said to a friend of mine who hasn't seen it yet, but he's a huge Sonic mark. And I was talking to him just like, you're going to love Knuckles. He's like, well, what did they do with him? I'm like, imagine if they made Drax a tribal warrior. He's like, comics Drax or MCU Drax? I'm like, MCU Drax. It's fantastic. And he goes, I don't know if I'm going to like that. I'm like, it's not quite what you see in descriptions. And then I explain, like, he doesn't care about spoilers. I explained the baseball scene to him and he's like, yep, that works.
The baseball scene, it tells you everything you need to know about this character.
Oh, it was fantastic. in this base of ball. Why, if my destination is here and I have already arrived? He's like if Drax had a tribal warrior Shakespearean like side to him, and it's so good. It works so well. I was always just like, I can't remember. I want to say it's a Simpsons joke with Poochie, but it's like every time Knuckles is not on screen, we should be asking, why isn't Knuckles on screen? Oh, and man, there's all that stuff going around with Jim Carrey talking about how he might retire from acting after this because he feels like he's done everything. If this is the movie it goes out on, I'm okay with that.
Same,
I'm honestly okay
honestly.
with that. Again, we're going to talk about the target demographic. Part of this target demographic was kids of this age, but another one of it, and it's the reason why I love these Sonic movies, is we get mid-90s Jim Carrey again.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you, nobody except for me and the parents of those kids lost their collective crap as much as when he was about to shock Knuckles and he goes, "You're about as useless to me as a pair of backstage passes to Limp Bizkit." I'm like, no kid is getting that joke, but I love it.
that and when he comes like entering in with his like Robotnik killer robot, and it's set to Pantera's Walk.
Yes.
And
he did and I call it the Jensen Ackles move because I've not seen anyone do it. When he does the air guitar with his leg, I'm like, please. I could watch an hour of him. Because it was like he did the same thing with that improv like dance scene in the truck when he's doing the research on the quill. The way all these lines move out, I would almost, it seems to me like they literally went, Jim, we are not giving you a script. This is the situation you're in. You know your Robotnik character. Act like how he would act. Because there's some of these where I'm like, 100% Jim made that line up. There's no way they scripted that. And there was a bunch of those moments throughout the all films where
I'm sure they gave him plenty of room to just play.
Oh, 100%. Part of me is like, I want to see the gag reel for this movie so bad.
Honestly, same.
Because like seeing Jim Carrey riffing next to what is most likely a Knuckles statue for prop displacement to let him know where Knuckles is when he's talking. Anyway, so a couple of things happen in this movie that I called. One we'll get to later, where I almost exactly called it, but anyone and their mother could have called exactly what was going to happen later on in this movie. But two is that the things that came after Long Claw were the Echidna tribe. And I'm pretty sure I said that in our earlier review. I didn't get to watch it yet, but I like just how they were shaped. You could tell.
Yeah.
And having Knuckles be the one that saves Robotnik and brings him back, I thought was a really cool touch. But yeah, seeing Jim get progressively, man, everything was setting this up. It's the perfect way where you and me talk about how video games we should be handled. There's different ways to do it. Sonic is a side-scrolling adventure thing at the start where they had a loose plot and you went through levels to get to where you needed to go. This was like, okay, we're going to use the roughly 4 minutes of plot that are in that game and then make a 2-hour movie out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked. You don't need to try and fit a 400-hour game into 2.5 hours. Pick something small and don't try and make a fit-for-fit perfect thing.
You know what else is part of why Sonic translated the best into a movie?
Yep.
Because he's already been in like other adaptations, animated series, the Sonic X anime, which is actually pretty good if you watch the original Japanese.
It is pretty good. Have you seen Sonic Boom at all?
I haven't watched like the whole thing, but I've seen like clips, and it just kills me every time.
It's fantastic. The one clip that I like forever in my brain, I'm like, everyone that works on Sonic realizes that it's a meme to a degree now, because he gets a ticket and he goes, I don't know if they'll accept Gotta Go Fast as a medical condition. And next to this, it's a close tie between this and the version of Knuckles from Boom that is the best version of Knuckles. They nailed him to a wall in that series with how good he is. And then I want to say her name's Twig. What do you got plans? Rummage through garbage, 2 or 3, you're gonna rummage through some garbage. It reminds me of like everyone gets mad oh, there was good cartoons in the 90s, because there was good cartoons in the 90s. It reminds me of them being self-referential and making those kind of lines, fully not caring if the kid did not get it, because they're like, oh, the kid will laugh, and someone older will think that's funny.
Mm-hmm. It has that same like irreverent humor from shows like, Animaniacs, but also, I don't know if you remember Dave the Barbarian.
I do. Not a lot, but I do.
That like those kind of like stupid humor shows were always some of my favorites.
It's also stupid humor, but man, every time someone brings up Animaniacs, I can't not think of the fingerprints joke.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone that does not know, go look up the fingerprints joke from Animaniacs, and it will blow your mind that was committed to a child's cartoon and put on the air.
Oh, there are plenty of other jokes that that by today's standards would not fly.
No, but anyway, back to the movie. Almost at like, I will fully admit, I love basically everything from the about hour and a half point on.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, and it's a character that I did not like from the first one, just because it's humor that I'm not a big fan of.
Oh, Rachel?
Is Rachel, the sister. And like, I was okay with like the stuff that like the fiance was doing with Tom. And I was kind of like, okay, yeah, that's funny. It's the big macho dude. He's trying to look tough, whatever. I get that. And then the whole thing boiled down to the same type of things that I didn't like in the first one. And like I said, this movie is not specifically made for me. And those kids that were watching it thought it was hilarious, and that's fine. It is for other people. I really could do with that. I'm fine with having her as a character that hates Tom. I'm perfectly okay with that. I just could do without that style of humor, in my opinion.
Fair enough.
As a kid, I didn't even like it. So, but yeah, outside of that, man, I really liked how this is done. They have a really good handle on what they want this Sonic characterization to be. And I got a big kick out of people when they were showing that James Marsden was only in one of the trailers for like roughly 3 minutes, like of collective footage. And they're like, James Marsden is the master of becoming less and less relevant in every movie role he has. And then the joke where he's in the boat with Sonic and someone put in there, yeah, and that's the beach where Jean Grey killed me, right over there. Yeah. You and me talked about this. I want to say it was off camera, but we talked about how they went out and got Idris Elba to be Knuckles, but yet they got the person who has done a good chunk of his animation voicing, who is a woman. I can't remember what her name is.
Colleen O'Shaughnessy.
Colleen O'Shaughnessy, thank you. And then they're like, we got that. And then we're like, I was a little irritated where I was like, man, it's going both ways on it. But like the way it worked out is Colleen did great and Idris did great. Could they have gotten someone that was a regular voice actor to do it? It's whatever. Yes, they could have. But like, they were not going to, and I am happy they did not get like go, well, those kids really liked when Steve Urkel was voicing them. No. Ben does great, Idris does great, but I'm also in my heart, as a person who really adores the amount of work voice actors put in, was very happy that Colleen got in there.
Same.
Because she did great, and they're gonna go, wow, I really liked Tails. And they're like, cool, good. Because those voice actors sometimes deserve a lot more credit than just getting to be an animated series every now and then. Because, yeah, they just do. I agree with the people on a lot of things, but like you'll hear me reference John Campea quite a bit. There are a few things that I could disagree with a person more than I do with John Campea on voice acting, who point blank says it's not real acting and shouldn't have an Academy Award because it's not as much work. I'm like, you only get to use your voice. You have no facial expressions. You have no arm movements. You have no vocal, whatever. You are only getting to use your voice. And unless you practice and work your ass off, voice acting's hard. Anyone can make stupid voices all they want. I'm a person that does it on a YouTube for a daily hobby. And guess what? Colton Hunt, great friend of this channel, friend of me and Mike's, makes our intro. Love Colton. He gave me a chance to be a voice actor once on his Agents of Files from the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. series. Voice acting's hard.
It is.
I had to do 3 lines, and it took me like 12 takes to not sound like a moron. And it was my regular voice. Everyone that gives it
voice
crap,
acting
stop it.
is literally just acting.
Yeah. And anyway, that was my little tirade that I have to put in these every now and then. Favorite moments of this? Go ahead, because I'm gonna have very little bad to say about this movie. I basically said the only thing I didn't like.
Just cutting right to the chase. Supersonic. We have fucking Supersonic.
A bunch of those kids, who I'm going to assume some of their fans were some of their parents were Sonic fans. Or also, when that mech pops up, and Agent Stone brings up a Sega manual.
I love that.
Lost my shit. But anyway, yeah, when he grabbed the emerald, and I'm like, maybe they're gonna save that for the third movie. When he got the emerald and it busted apart, I'm like, yeah, they're gonna get scattered, and that's gonna be the thing for the third movie, or whatever. When all of a sudden they're hugging him, I'm like, oh. I was like having heart palpitations. I was welling up in tears. I was like, this better be as cool as I think this is going to be. And then he gets up, and the animation with his red eyes and everything and how he was presented looks so good. I'm like, Supersonic, if you like look at things that he's animated or whatever, and like listen to Death Battle to listen to how busted it really is, if you go into it, I'm like, are you going to present him as the broken wrecking ball of a character that he became after a while, or are you just going to make this a minor power up? When he floats up and Robotnik goes to swing on him and he just goes, nope, sorry. I'm like, I was losing my mind. I'm like, you're making him look so cool.
Oh. Since you know what a big Dragon Ball Z fan I am, this was one of those moments that obviously reminds me a lot of the Frieza saga when Goku turns Super Saiyan for the first time.
Oh yeah.
And like that's exactly the vibe they were going for.
It is. And they made this, like, they framed it as like the coolest thing to ever happen. And it's for a younger demographic. And it works for adults too. They're like,
it's only the second movie too.
Yeah. And they're like, no, we're going to put some cool stuff in here that adults and kids are going to like. And we're going to put it in a way to where both of them could lose their minds over it. I put it on my Facebook status where I'm like, if you would have told me years ago that I would have had a moment where I'm watching a Sonic movie, and when he goes supersonic, I was popping as hard as when I did in some of the moments in the latter half of Spider-Man No Way Home, I would have smacked the lips clean off your face. But, one thing they nailed in these movies is, even though it's in small parts, is that Sonic has borderline nobody except for Tom and, now I'm blanking on the wife's name.
Maddie.
How, like, that's his family. And like they're going on and everybody that knows me, again, surrogate father things, it gets to me when they're like, you don't get into context for like these kids didn't get it. Like they just went, Sonic's gonna die. He's our kid. We're dying with him. So they're gonna be in his last moments as they all got squished. I was like, huh? Huh? And then he comes back out and he's like, you're not hurting my family, and just wrecks him. And then the cocky little tink kick to knock the thing over, and freaking Jim Carrey. Oh, so that's how it is, huh? We're not even friends. It falls over. Oh, man. They just have it nailed. And like that lets it, well, they take the truck. They're like, let's go get our kid. And they talk to him and they say they're his son. And then at the end, when he calls Tom dad, I was tearing up in that theater. How minor of a moment that was. They're literally just looking at him playing baseball with his kid. And it's like that little dude that has nobody. I'm just like, I shouldn't be this happy about a Sonic movie and getting this emotional. But I was like, man, you barely did anything and you pulled that off incredibly well.
These are family movies, both literally and like that's exactly who they were trying to target.
Exactly.
I've seen some reviews calling this movie like soulless, and that it doesn't have the heart of the original.
Did they watch the movie?
That's what I'm wondering.
Did they accidentally go into Morbius? Like, what happened?
I've tried reading some of these reviews, and I don't say this often, but I'm not convinced we watched the same movie.
I'm starting to think that people are getting upset that it's a Sonic movie. Like, in the latter half, it turns into actual video game Sonic.
Yeah, like straight up.
Yeah. That's another thing that I hate about stuff nowadays. It's like, okay, you're allowed to legitimately hate things. I get that. But, and man, I know I've ranted and raved on this, so I'm going to keep it short. I am sick of everything where it's like, it is either handcrafted by God and served you on a silver platter, or it is the shit at the bottom of the scum barrel found at the bottom of Crap Canyon. Stop. If you just didn't think it was as good as the first one, it's soulless and doesn't have heart. They do the exact relationship in this movie as the other one. And they address the same things.
Yeah, and it's even expanded upon too.
Yeah. That is just, that is so stupid. Anyway. But yeah, the action scenes were great. The, like, actually getting Tails to be like an inventor and a tinkerer and stuff like that was awesome. We got Tails' plane because, we were going to do that. They show that in the trailers, but I thought that was really awesome. Just everything was great in it. Like, again, I could have watched Sonic Knuckles and Robotnik palling around for an hour and a half just by themselves.
Same.
When Knuckles is on the side of the cliff and he mentions the emerald, like he's talking about the emerald, and he goes down, and he's just like, this ultimate power that you mentioned, and then all of a sudden Knuckles thought he was gonna fire on him. He was like, even you think these mere machines can fight? Oh, I guess they're turning into stairs.
The delivery on the dialogue is just pitch perfect every time.
I don't exactly know, but it felt like Idris was impersonating somebody he knows from his personal life at certain points in this where I'm like, that sounds like somebody you knew personally, and you were doing an incredibly great impersonation of them. But yeah, just, and they weren't afraid to make it seem like a video game. I will tell you, the one thing where I might have lost my mind the most, and they lead up to it, is they keep talking about how much Sonic hates water. I was
Mm.
so happy about that. And when he was drowning, I was like, please do a little bit of that music in the background. Just a touch. They didn't. That's fine. But my little kid was like that. Like, ah, oh, come on. But they didn't. It's fine. It's all good. But like, that was one of the one things they were missing.
At least they managed to squeeze a bunch of Easter eggs in. Like, which game did they have Sonic like snowboarding down the hill?
Oh man, part of me wants to say it's 3. I played the Sonic games and I know the lore because I've watched the cartoons, but I'm not one of the people that like play them over and over and over again to where I remember the exact levels. Part of me wants to say that's 3, but I could be 1,000% wrong, and that happens in 2. But I can't remember. It's been so long. But yeah, the Easter eggs. There's that. The Sega manual. They literally have the exact mech, like the head looks exactly like how all the heads look in the Robotnik mechs.
Yep.
Like with the mustache and everything. They had the actual Chaos Emerald. Like, and talking about his race and all the backstory and that. Excuse me. They didn't have any deep cuts like the picture of Sanic when that one guy was talking about. He's like, oh, I've seen this thing running around. Do you have a gas photo of it? Yeah, right here. But like, one thing, and I thought they weren't going to do it because I thought I'd be like, don't have some studio executives say that's too stupid to put in this movie. And I was going to be irritated because they kept calling them Tails the whole time. I'm like, if not one moment you guys don't call him miles per hour, I was going to be upset.
But they
did. At the very end, they did. Because like miles, tails per hour. I'm like, yes, that name is the worst, but I love it.
We talked about the casting, but I don't think we really got into just how well written Tails is in this movie. Like he's just Tails. Like the voice obviously is perfect, but I think what works about this and about his involvement in the plot is he's basically a Sonic fanboy.
Absolutely, and it works so well. Where it was going to be like, there was for a while where they weren't talking about how we knew how Sonic is. I'm like, are y'all just not going to mention how he knows who Sonic is and just go with it? I was like, oh, okay, got it. No, they did that. But yeah, he just thinks Sonic is the coolest thing ever. And you know what that means? And I'm happy about it. We don't need to have Amy. I don't. I'm fine with a lot of Sonic characters. I do not need Amy in these movies the way they normally portray her.
If they portray her like they do in Sonic Boom, that might be okay.
That would be okay. But like a lot of them, it just turns into stalkerish girlfriend territory where like, why doesn't Sonic want to be with me? Ah! I keep thinking about Sonic Adventure 2 or Sonic Adventures. Or while I'm on it, if any of y'all watching this, and none of you are, if one of you even whispers Big Cat's name or Big the Cat, I'm not watching the movie. There's no chance. If I see something purple fishing, I'm not even going to even look at that movie's direction. But yeah, Arrow was written well. Like even the jokes that I didn't like, I'm like, that's written well, but it's not for me.
Right.
Like even I'll admit in there where it's like the Randall and Rachel forever thing, the time when it zips back around, I was like, okay, that's kind of funny, and I get it. And what does he call him? The pastry deity or whatever.
Pastry deity
or something. Like instead of donut lord, he says like pastry god or something. And I'm like, you think someone would remember this with your intellect and all that? And everyone is like exactly where they need to be. I could have done with more Knuckles, give in mind. And that's going to happen in the next movie. Those three will be together a lot more because they're taking good progressive steps. They're not rushing everything. And with Sonic, you have a very clear path of how you need to do things if you're going to make a trilogy of movies. And boy, are they doing it to the letter. And we'll talk about that at the very end because I called it. A blind monkey with no other senses could have called it as well, but it's there.
It's there because it has to be.
Yes.
And not even it has to be like the corporate meaning. I mean, like logically, if you're going through the Sonic characters, they're next.
They're next, absolutely. And it's just, yeah, you have that they have the emerald now and they can use it when they need to. So you always have Supersonic available. But just it's going to be regular Sonic all around. And yeah, I didn't think at 31 years of age that I would be this excited for a third Sonic movie.
And a Knuckles spin-off series.
Oh my god, I forgot all about that. Yeah, man, I think I'm almost more excited about that. What is that spin-off series going to be on again?
It's going to be on Paramount Plus, probably.
Damn it! I have to get Paramount Plus. Oh, I couldn't have been on Hulu. Because it's Paramount. I get it, but dang it. Okay, fine. But yeah, I'm kind of wondering what that's going to be about.
I have two guesses. One might be a little bit of his backstory, like kind of fleshing that out more.
Mm-hmm.
And two, I don't know, just kind of adventures when he's not with Sonic and crew.
Hijinks. It could just be him and Tails joking around.
Hijinks on Earth.
Hijinks on Earth of Knuckles trying to understand human customs. I would watch the hell out of that.
Oh, same.
Yeah. Like do a lower I don't want to say, like, I understand they couldn't quite have the budget of how everything looks, but like tone down the budget enough to where it doesn't look bad, and like make kind of Sonic adventures off the big screen every now and then. You could, if your Paramount Plus starts doing really good, you could have some there.
Yeah.
Like Sonic shorts, stuff like that. It could be good. And man, watching all the jokes, hijinks were good. Watching him have the mech battle and stuff was good. Watching Knuckles literally punch the emerald clean out of Robotnik's chest. You get to see. I never thought in my entire life I would see a full future length version of Sonic 2 in a movie. You actually have Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles fighting Robotnik.
That was so good.
It was so good. That whole fight was off the charts. And again, just Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey. Going up, doing all the stupid, dumb running like he's in Pacific Rim and the snot rocket. It's blowing the freaking bridge apart. And then when he goes, I was losing my shit, probably louder than I should have. When Stone can't figure out how to run the mech, and he zips to the seat, and like his static electricity is like electrocuting Stone. He's like, "Sorry about the electricity. You might want to ground yourself." And he's just plugging the wires and shit. They even got, I barely remember him, Wade, that other cop.
Oh yeah, Adam Paley plays Wade. The I don't want to say anything offensive, but he's definitely
I'll quote it how the movie did. For that secret agent goes up to Olive Garden guy and he goes, in local PD, I'm not saying he's stupid, but if that is the local police department, then this town isn't for worse.
Yeah.
Watching him After his
I tried good cop. I tried bad cop. I tried
cop with bagel. First, to start that whole scene off, he has barely any screen time, and he's got some of the best laughs of the whole thing. After his car gets destroyed, and he's going down the main street in a fucking razor scooter with this thing on his head, and he stops into the shop, and he handcuffs him, and it looks like he's playing bad cop, and he looks like he's about to pull out a weapon, and he just gets up a butter knife. I was losing my shit.
Do you want cream cheese on your bagel? That's a display bagel.
That's a display bagel. What? All right. Yep. All right. That is a display bagel. You smell like a snack platter. I kind of had a couple of those. Sit in the chair. Oh,
they really didn't need to go that hard with the humor, and yet
it's so good. And they're all little jokes. They're not even like big, long-standing things. It's just boop, in and out the moment's there. The writing in these is better than I would expect. And again, what we're talking about, treat it like old cartoons where it's like, this is at a younger demographic, but it's some older stuff that when the adults go in and watch it with their kids, they're going to think it's funny.
Okay, so one of the writers, John Whittington, actually worked on the Lego Batman movie and the Lego Ninjago and the Lego Ninjago movie. So yeah, his sense of humor is definitely felt in all of this.
That makes a ton of sense. I just love the movie. I don't need to go through every single joke that I like, every single moment that I like, because like outside of the bits that I said I didn't, or like I didn't care for, I like this movie a lot. I don't know if I like it more than the first one, but I really, really like this movie. And I like, is there other stuff you want to go through before we talk about the thing that we both knew was going to happen is happening?
I'll say like my kind of final thoughts now before we get to that. I would say before we actually get supersonic, I would say this movie is like on par with the first one, and then supersonic is like what jumped this up to, you know, the ultimate level.
How they presented supersonic, because they could have waffled that.
They could have, but I think how they handled it was it was as perfect as like anyone could have pulled it off.
Oh, absolutely. Because they take the quirky, kooky, even when he's serious moments of Sonic, of like this Ben Schwartz version of Sonic, and they made him absolutely no nonsense for a couple of minutes, where it was like, no, it's go time. You hurt his family, he's gonna kill you. He's got the power to do so if he needs it. And then I forgot about one of my other favorite jokes too. When they're going up, he's just like, stop! That is not the Sonic that you know anymore. And they look like he's going to go nuts, and he summons a chili dog from that cloud. I take that back. That is exactly the Sonic that you thought you knew. Like, you know this character. You got him perfect. He's like, good. Fighting's over. Time to have fun. That's Sonic to me. That's all it is, and they got it.
Yep. All right, let's talk about it.
Rip the Band-Aid off. Who'd they show? The government project.
The government project? Shadow the Hedgehog.
Which they show. They say from 50 years ago?
I heard 50. Either 50 or 30.
I thought it was 50. Now, again, lore is abiding me here. Was Sonic, or I want to say, was Shadow a thing, and then they made him look like a hedgehog because he was working on it, known as Sonic? Because they say, because he's always just meant to be the perfect life form, is what I remember. And they talk about how this has been a project for 50 years. Sonic isn't 50 years old.
I was going to say.
So
okay, so on Wikipedia, it says, within the Sonic series fictional universe, Shadow the Hedgehog is an immortal being created by Professor Gerald Robotnik through genetic engineering as part of an experiment to cure his granddaughter Maria from a deadly illness.
I remember that because they've got her in the Sonic game, or not the Sonic, the Shadow the Hedgehog game. Well, I wonder.
Oh wait, hold on. I got to keep going for this one part.
Oh boy.
Shadow was placed in suspended animation, and a military organization, the Guardian Units of Nations.
Shut up! That's a real thing?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I played that stupid edgelord game 4 times, and I don't remember that.
In hindsight, I'm kind of slapping myself for not recognizing Gunn during like the wedding scene.
Damn it. That's right. That is a thing. I wonder if they're gonna do that weird I can't remember his name. He's like an alien deity or something that looks like a Doctor Strange villain. That is like that is tempting Shadow to the dark side. But I'm wondering now, because it's Gerald Robotnik, not Ivo. Maybe his I can't remember what relation he would be to Ivo again. Like I know
he's a grandfather.
He's a grandfather.
Go
ahead.
I was gonna say Gerald is the grandfather of Maria and Ivo.
Maria and Ivo. Okay, so maybe Gerald knew about Sonic's race, but just never told Ivo?
Maybe.
Because that's the only way I'm seeing this working, because Ivo knew nothing about Sonic or that other worlds existed. And then now all of a sudden there's a government project from 50 years ago that has a super-powered hedgehog in the basement that looks exactly like Sonic, but black with red highlights.
I'm sure they will explain all of this in the next movie. Okay. Whether or not, actually, I just realized something. Whether or not Jim Carrey comes back, you can put like Maria in the movie to replace him.
You can. Typically, what I remember anyway, Maria's like a child, like an 8-year-old child in that game that Shadow's actually good friends with and tries to save if you do the good path in that game. And you actually go through Ivo to get to her because he's trying to take all the emeralds for himself and he does not care about Shadow. Yeah, they could do Maria in a weird way. If they kind of change her age, I wouldn't be that big of a deal because that plot in that game is kind of brr. But excuse me. Yeah, they could do something with Maria, like maybe she just knew about an old project that her grandpa did for some reason or something like that. It'll be interesting to see how they handle that because it's just like in my brain, it's weird imagining that Shadow was around before Sonic, unless that is just blacked out in my brain because I don't remember that from any games that I did or shows that I watched. It was always he came after. And then when Sonic was done being the cool edgelord, they came up with Metal Sonic.
That's another thing. Do you think we're ever going to see Metal Sonic?
Man, if they do another trilogy, we might. Because that first movie, even the crap that it went through, made bank. And I can tell you right now,
this movie's making bank.
It's gonna make bank. This is a bold prediction, but I could see this thing creeping up towards $1 billion if it gets legs. Cause
yeah,
outside,
I can see it getting there.
Outside of 2 Marvel movies coming, is there a lot of things that the kids are gonna want to go see outside of this?
2 weekends from now, there's a DreamWorks animated movie called The Bad Guys.
Oh yes, I did see a preview for that. I'd be taking my kids to go see Sonic. But either way, I could see this making a butt ton of money because I'm going to go watch it a few more times at least. And I know there's a bunch of kids like you and me that grew up in the 90s that are going to go watch it a lot as well. This is a pretty perfectly timed movie for you have kids that were born in the 90s that want to go see it, but also happen to have kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I guess we could go see Sonic. Oh, you want to go again? I guess.
Twist my arm, why don't you?
Yeah, man, you're gonna put a gun to my head. I suppose we could go see the thing I want to.
I don't know if I'll have time to see it this week, like again this weekend, but the next opportunity, I have to go see it a second time.
Yeah, I have my roommate. I believe he said he will not be able to see it until Sunday, so I'll be rewatching it again on Sunday with my roommate and his family. So, yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it. I want Jim Carrey to somehow be like, yeah, I'm retiring from acting, except if they ask me to come back and do Robotnik. That'll be my last role that I do every now and then. Because he's having the time of his life doing those movies.
He is.
Like
you can tell he's. I don't think he has felt more alive than he was like in this role.
Yeah, and then like the press tours and everything, and a bunch of his past movies that I've liked, even that he's been in, like Kick-Ass 2. Oh, there's a couple others, but it's blank for my mind.
The Incredible Burt Wonderstone.
Colonel Burt Wonderstone. I actually liked him quite a bit in Burt Wonderstone. I think he was having a time of his life, Burt Wonderstone. But there's a couple, like, just of me remembering him acting lately, like, where you could tell, like, he was giving his professional best in the movie, but you could kind of tell he was doing the movie, and then, like, part of the way through was kind of, it felt like he was in 1,000% the entire time.
I think this might be, well, if this is only the third sequel that he's ever done. The other two were Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls and Dumb and Dumber 2.
That's right. I keep forgetting about Dumb and Dumber 2 as a sequel. I'm one of those people that like that movie, but yeah, he does not do sequels often. And he's definitely never done a trilogy. So that would be something, even if he films a small scene to be put in there just to say he finally did a trilogy. That 1,000% joke. Wow, you're really heavy. That is because I am 1,000,000% muscle. He was just a walking, talking, one hit line delivering machine in that movie.
And he was so good at it.
He was so good. They just got, who's the guy that we could have deliver these muscles and sound like a tribal warrior? And then all of a sudden they got Idris in the booth for 2 seconds to test lines and went, yeah, send everyone else home. I don't care. And I gotta laugh. I want to say it was Zane and then Matt Fortune, who were like, there's always been the big thing going around where it's like, you know how you have the characters that don't have a skin color, but you're pretty sure they're African American?
Yeah.
One of them was always Knuckles in those big joke charts they'd make. So as soon as Idris Elba got cast, and everyone was like, you nailed it. You absolutely nailed it. It's him and Piccolo.
Yep.
Are at the top of that chart every time. But, it was so well. It was so well done. I love it. And now that we know, and I've talked with Zane about this, I believe I've talked with you about this, but I said it as a prediction, I'm pretty sure, in our first Sonic review, and I am saying it now. Paramount, you nailed it with Idris Elba as Knuckles. Get Keanu Reeves to be Shadow.
Ooh, I wasn't thinking of that because last night someone asked me to someone asked me to fan cast the rest of the supporting players, and I was just picking professional voice actors. So I was picking guys like I don't know, like Greg Chun or Jason Griffith or
I can also see Steve Bloom if he gave it a shot.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I need to look up one other voice actor.
Oh man. He just got changed to be the voice actor of Crow Bronwyn after Volume 5 of Ruby. That used to be Vic Mignogna, but then after all that crap happened, he got recasted.
Oh wait, hang on, I got one. David Vincent.
David Vincent be up there. The other one thinking was David Lieberch. or
Ooh,
Liebrich. He's done a couple other things. Like oh man, I believe he's a character in My Hero, but I can't think of what one. He is, gosh, dang it, Jason Lieberich, My Hero Academia. Who does he voice in My Hero?
Bobby.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and he's done a couple other darker roles like that, where he's kind of that guy with the low tone voice. And I think he's someone who's the same race as Beerus in Dragon Ball Super, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, they can get a lot of people. But like, if they're gonna go
Oh
big
yeah. Oh,
name,
he's Beerus's brother, Champa.
got it. Okay. But yeah, I can see the philosophical, low tone, growly quandaries of like life and its purposes that Shadow always spews, done really, really well by Keanu Reeves. And I could see him committing to it. And I could see him loving every second of it.
I would be so happy if that it's either that or again get a professional voice actor.
It'll be interesting to see how they handle that. And it'll be interesting to see if they introduce any other Sonic people along with it, because it's like, it was always just a guess that it was going to be Knuckles in the second movie because it made sense. Because that's the logical progression. You have Robotnik needs to come back and he's going to have Knuckles to help him. There's going to be we like had this entire movie telegraphed from second one. Anyone that knows anything about Sonic knew exactly how this movie was going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And like, we didn't know Knuckles was going to be in it for sure because they didn't show him. They just eventually were like, Idris Elba's been cast as Knuckles. We just did know that Tails was going to be in it. So I'm kind of wondering if like they showed Shadow and they might also put somebody in there that is a minor character to start really filling that roster up. I don't know who that could be. Like, the other big one that gets a lot of shine in the video games is Silver, which is another hedgehog. I don't know if they would throw two of them in there, but like Amy is another one that's up there. And like I said, if they portray her correctly, good. Stalker girlfriend, not so much.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
There's a fan casting that you especially would like for Amy, Ashley Birch.
Right now, if they announce that Ashley Birch would voice Amy, all worries are out the door. If I could get Ashley Birch to have a big time movie animated role, I would die for it. Oh man. Oh, I kind of want that now. If they make her serious and like not serious, if they just don't make her the stalker girlfriend and you get Ashley Birch to be her. Oh man, Mike, you just totally turned me around. Oh yeah, gosh dang it. If you give me Ashley Birch voicing her, I'll take it. Ashley Birch, or if they're going big names, Chloe Grace Moretz, something like that.
Or Anna Kendrick.
Ooh, that's really good. Okay, those are my two options. I want Ashley Birch or Anna Kendrick. I think Anna Kendrick she'd be the definition of having her damn time of her life.
Oh yeah, she would love that. Now what about Rouge?
Rouge presents a very big problem.
I'm aware.
Because for those that are watching this and don't know Rouge the Bat, she is the Sonic character that is just like, yep, that's a bat with a giant pair of tits. Sorry for my crass language, but that's basically all that Rouge is. She doesn't get a lot of character development outside of the, yep, that's the over-sexualized Sonic character that doesn't need to be over-sexualized in fan art. They're just like that normally. Man, if they had the balls to put Rouge in there and just like totally make her normal. Rouge. Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah. All right.
I could see that. But man, now I can't think of the character's name that plays the raccoon in Boom. Is it not Twig? Sticks? No. And yeah, you're looking up as you go, but man, yeah, they could do a couple of the bigger characters that still haven't been done yet and get away with it.
Styx is voiced by
It is Styx. Okay.
Nika Futterman.
Nika Futterman. Okay. But yeah, Styx, if they wanted to kind of do a poll, because I don't know if she's from anything outside of Boom.
I think Boom is where she was introduced. Let me just confirm.
Well, I believe that's what it was, and she's a great addition to the cast of characters that she was introduced in Boom.
Nope, wrong. She was
what?
She's a character from the Sonic Archie comics.
Oh, okay. Those are actually shockingly really good.
Right?
They're actually very, very good. And
I haven't read all of them, but I've seen a few like a few panels, and yeah, this is that like they have some surprisingly rich material to mine from.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. There's two things that I want. Need to make sure I get their names right. When they're going to go look at Shadow, I want there to be blueprints in Robotnik's lab. If that's what they do, when they're going to go look at him, I want there to be blueprints for Scratch and Grinder. Or Scratch and Grounder. I would lose my shit. Because those two are never making it into a movie. But
no, not even close.
I want it to be Key and Peele.
Oh my god. That might be the best casting.
Can you imagine?
I'm pretty sure we've joked about that somewhere else before.
Oh man, I kind of want that to happen. Oh, dude. That's the only way they can make those characters work. It's if it's Key and Peele.
Please.
Outside of that, don't even go near them. But if you're gonna let Key and Peele do their own thing with those two, they can 1,000% work as random goons that get nothing done.
Oh God. So we are basically pitching Sonic 3.
We are in Sonic 3 and 4. Or 4 and 5. Oh man. If these keep being at the quality that they're at, they could easily do another trilogy of these movies.
Oh yeah.
And they're not even like blowing their load in any of them either.
No, they're pacing them out like pretty much perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the first one was all about establishing Sonic's new life on Earth. Sonic 2 is about him like basically forming his own family in the form of Tails, Knuckles, and really firmly establishing that he's the son of Tom and Maddie.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 3, we get to go dark and weird.
We do. And anyone will tell you, I'm happy for Tom and Maddie. And obviously Robotnik. But normally, in anything to do with Sonic, when you start to add humans, it gets bad. Outside of Robotnik. Anyone who remembers Sonic 2006. Hey! Who thought we needed to see Sonic make it out with a human being? Not me!
Nope. Wrong.
The less said about that glitch-filled disaster, the better. But man, yeah, Paramount's got a gold mine on their hands if they do this correctly. And I hope that they don't crap the bed. Keep being good with your pacing and don't overstretch yourself in what you need to do with these movies. Because with Sonic, if you handle them correctly and do a good version, you've got characters that don't need to be saved and some characters that can be saved and used as a one new addition each time. And so they can go away and have their own little kooky fun adventures like the Knuckles side thing and whatever and this and that. You just be careful with it because you could have some really good things on your hands. And if they keep doing good, I would not be shocked if one of these movies reaches over $1 billion.
I don't know if this movie's gonna do it, but if it does, then like that just affirms that this franchise is in good hands.
It is, and Sonic has been known to not be in very good hands recently as far as the video game side until quite recently. So I'm glad a good part of it is being held in high regard and done correctly. So yeah, I'm happy. Very happy with this movie. I assumed I was at least going to like it. I love this movie.
Same.
Yeah, it was very, very good. And we've said a lot of our thoughts on what we need for the next one. And oh, hey, also, if you do Vector the Crocodile, it better be John Cena.
God. Now I'm going to be spending the next couple hours down the Sonic rabbit hole.
Absolutely. It's just going to be a bunch of, dude, you remember this? I'm like, yeah. There's some weird ones. Y'all want to see some random weird off like, man, there's the edgelordiest edgelord character ever. If I remember it correctly, it's a super evil hedgehog named Eclipse. If I'm not mistaken, that is from the Archie comics. That is just the worst. It's just the worst. But it's purple, and it's like purple with like red hues, if I'm not mistaken. It basically looks like if Prince was a hedgehog. Yeah, I'm very happy with it, and I look forward to seeing a sequel because it's gonna get one. So, but yeah, are you looking them up?
Yeah, I just saw an image, and yeah,
it was it who I was remembering.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Yeah, but Mike, where can everybody find you? Because I think we've said our thoughts pretty well, nailed to the wall on that. Go right ahead.
You guys can find me on Twitter at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/Coach K42. And you can find me in all the various Facebook groups just at my name. You can check out Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Twitter at Ren Pop Culture. You can also find us on Podchaser and the Banana Meter. Listen to all of our podcasts on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. Mean escape, so do we.
Absolutely. And you can find me basically everywhere at Organoid Zero. Got some other stuff cooking up that I might want to try with this channel. One thing that has been long gestating, but I want to get logo work and stuff done first before I start doing it. It'd be a more regular thing. I need to see how it handles. But on the Twitch side, I am currently doing Life is Strange. And then once I'm done with that, I might start Tokyo or Ghostwire Tokyo. We'll see. But yeah, trying to keep more stuff better done than I have been in the past and keeping it more better. Everyone who looks at this, I have an actual Facebook page now, just Organoid Zero, where I'm going to start actually posting when I have stuff going up online and other things. So if you have the notifications or you use Facebook, whichever you prefer, you'll know when my stuff's going live, because I, for years, have been notoriously horrible for advertising the things that I'm involved in. So I need to get better at it, and I am. But until next time, we'll see you guys later.